Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'm showing you how I installed this hair. It's a unit I purchased from Mabella Hair. It's a Lagos-based hair brand, but I believe they ship worldwide. It's a 10-inch 200-gram bob, an HD frontal, and yeah, I installed it myself, and I've had this installed now for about 3 days, and today's my third day. So I think it's held up pretty well, and I've just had to spray it down a bit with holding spray and tie it down, and just be very careful when I'm washing my face and taking a shower so the unit doesn't get messed up. I really like the hair so far, and I've gotten a bit of compliments. I was literally walking down the road the other day and I heard these Nigerian girls go, "What lace?" And I was like, yeah, what lace? What lace? And yeah, the hair moves. As you can see, it moves. Can you see the motion? Can you see it? So yeah, the hair did cost a pretty penny. I really like the unit, although this is not the one I wanted, but I'm happy I went with this, and I'll probably get the other one like later on in the year, yeah, when I need it. So this is nice. I use it for work now, and I think this is going to mess up my hair because it's so short and it's literally out of my face. I just hot comb it down and I'm good to go. I don't need to do much manipulation with it. I just need to always make sure that the lace isn't lifting. So let me just show you what I did to achieve this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Leave a comment, tell me if you like the hair, like this video, and you can share it as well. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
First thing I did was to brush out the hair. This brush actually came with the units, and I'm just showing you guys here the band. It came with a secure band, and it's removable and also adjustable. The wig is actually big. Like, I believe the bald cap and the frontal and all of that was actually really big for my head. I've been told I have a small head. So I was just trying to fit the wig properly so I know where I'm cutting off and how it fits on my head. I got this wig in the mail, not in the mail, essentially my friend bought it from me from Nigeria, and it held up really well. Like, it didn't bend, there was nothing wrong with the strands, everything was just really good, so I have to give it to them for that. I started the install by wearing this wig cap that I believe matched my skin tone, but I believe it could be darker. I'm really conflicted about my skin tone. Anyways, I then went in with the Got to Be Good style spray and used that to secure the front bit of the hair, just the perimeter of my hair in front, perimeter of my head, pardon me, in front, and just hold it down properly because I didn't want any lifting, and I had planned to wear the hair for a week just to test it out and see, if the quality is as advertised. After using the Got to Be spray, I then went in with my blow dryer to put everything in place and dry it down, and then I used the tail comb to push everything in and just try and like blend it into my skin and my hairline. Then I kept going in with the blow dryer because I didn't want it sticky or still lifting. I randomly decided to trace the perimeter of my head with the tail comb, and I'm really glad that I did that because it helped me to create a kind of like a path for me to install the frontal, and that was what I used to know how I was going to place it and where, because I do have a big forehead, and sometimes when I'm placing my wigs I do move the wig forward a bit, but I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm just trying to go with my hairline and go with the flow, go with what I have, show my big forehead. And, sometimes it looks good. Other times I'm just really conflicted and confused. I'm like, oh my God, is this nice? But I ended up liking this anyways. I tried to go in with the Got to Be spray to make sure that the ends weren't lifted. I usually have problems with my edges, like closer to my sideburns and top of my ears. I don't know, it just doesn't lay down sometimes. And I was experiencing this a bit, so I kept going in with the spray and the blow dryer and the tail comb, just so everything was, properly, seamlessly embedded into my head, if that's the right word to use. Just a side note, I'm using this opportunity to apologize because my face, I was giving stank faces throughout this install. I wear glasses and I was wearing contacts this day, and my contacts, I really don't like my contact lenses. So I was squeezing my face plus the heat of this blow dryer. I'm just trying to make sure everything was like secure, and yeah, my stank faces were killing me. When I was editing the video, I was like, oh my god, like this is really, really bad. I usually have stank faces when I'm doing my hair because I'm tender headed and I just like to concentrate. My concentration faces are like stank faces. So as I said earlier, I use a tail comb to trace out the perimeter of my head so I know where I'm going to place the frontal, and I'm just showing you guys what that looks like. You can see there's a fits like I think an inch between my hairline and the demarcation that has been created by the tail comb, which is good. And yeah, I started to cut at this point. Because I wore the wig cap down past my ears, I started cutting from my ears so to sort of secure it more. And that is where everything started going wrong. The wig cap was tearing, everything was just falling apart. Cutting it, I was starting to panic, but I was like, girl, you started with this ball cap now. You have to go to work, you just have to continue. So I cut it as closely as possible to my the perimeter of my head, and I just made sure that, it was not too far off because again, I'm not trying to hide my forehead this time around. I'm very happy I did the perimeter thing because it actually helped me to know where I was cutting, and because I couldn't properly see, so it really helped me. And I think if you're gonna try installing, you should do that, or at least use some sort of like markings, like a pencil or something you could see, and that would guide you. It would be really, really beneficial. The wig cap was tearing, and yeah. At this point, I just went right in to start cutting the middle of the wig cap, and because I glued it down, I also had to be careful and be careful when I was lifting it so I wouldn't, hurt myself. So I used the tail comb to pick it apart so that it's easier for me when I'm cutting, because I did use a lot of spray because I wanted it to be, properly held down and secure. So I had to then lift the excess wig cap material from the glue because everything was just stuck together. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but you can see from the video what I'm doing. I'm trying to remove the excess wig cap from my forehead so that I can then cut it. You have to be really careful when you're doing this. You don't want to mess it up. You've already gone this far, so you just have to be careful and take your time. I took my time when I was cutting this thing because I didn't want to nick myself and I didn't want to make the wig cap worse because it was already falling apart at this point. So I just had to be really careful. And I'm happy I didn't use a razor. I feel like the pair of scissors gave me more precision. And I noticed that using a razor, the razor one for eyebrows and, dermaplaning and whatnot, when I use that, it sort of gives the wig cap and the lace a raggedy end, and I don't know if I really like that. I don't know. So I just opted for a pair of scissors, and it did the job. It helped me to cut clearly, and I was actually happy with this first layer until everything started falling apart again. When I was done cutting, I was really like shocked. I was happy. I was like, oh my gosh, like you did a good job. It was seamless to an extent. At least for me, it was seamless. And I liked that I could see clearly where to place the wig when I was ready to install it. So this was a really good first step. But what I would say is, I didn't know there were different qualities of wig caps. This one is a really, really poor quality one. Like I'm not sure why they even give it to their customers. It was falling apart. Maybe I'd used too much glue and then it wasn't just cooperating. But no, like I really had a bad experience with this wig cap. But aside that, I'm happy with how the install of the first layer went, and then later on I ended up using another wig cap sort of secure everything in. Remember when I found out about this color of wig caps, I was like, black never. I usually use the black ones and I'm like, no, how can this exist and I'm using the black one? So I like this color now. It's like the dark chocolate brown. That's the exact color, chocolate brown. And I really, really like it. This is what the first wig cap looks like. And then I went in with another wig cap. This one, I think it's like an HD wig cap. It's proper, like it's, I want to call it see-through. It's almost clear at this point. It's like clear. It was doing what it needed to do. So it was good as an add-on, like another layer. The first one was thicker and this was thinner. So you can also do that. You know, you can grab two wig caps, one that's the regular one and another one that's, I think it's the HD one, and use both of them. So one will just secure your hair while the other one will do the actual melting job you need it to do with the units. So same steps, I went through the spray down, but this time I used another spray, and then this one is really popular. I don't want to mention the name. So I sprayed it down, and then I went in with my blow dryer, gave it a good dry, made sure everything was, you know, stuck down properly. This one was actually stuck, like it was stuck to me. It was stuck to me. I had to get something to help me pick it apart when I needed to when I needed to cut it, because it was just like proper stuck onto my head. So I just randomly grabbed a wet, like a damp paper towel, and then used that to dampen the bits I wanted to lift, so I would be able to cut it and, like, you know, properly trace around the perimeter of my head for the install. And that's something I've never done before, but I'm going to start doing. Just having like a damp cloth around you that you can use to wipe off excess glue. It doesn't have to be a spray bottle. I guess using a spray bottle would like disperse the hair, disperse the water really like everywhere. So you want to be able to control it. So I used this damp cloth and it actually really helped me. So I was able to continue cutting and then, you know, secure everything. I wasn't really fussed about how this cut would look. I just wanted to make sure that there was something that I could use, and like a second layer over the first one I'd done. So you would see that it's just flying everywhere. Like you would see that. I was trying my very best to make sure that it was being cut properly and I didn't have extra like wig cap material on my temples or giving me like extra sideburns, because one thing is like I'm not really an edges girl, maybe because I don't know how to do it. It's like if it's not your regular edges, like your hair, I'm not really like for it. So yeah, I went in with the holding spray, just give it a spray down. This was like a lot. Like, can you see the wig cap is like falling apart? So I had to clean my face because there was extra product, and then I melted it. Went in with a tail comb to press everything down and just picking apart different things that were like extra material from the wig cap or the paper towel, and then I was just using the tail comb to blend everything into it, but it wasn't working that much. Honestly speaking, these wig caps did me dirty. I really tried my very best, but like everything was just sticky, gooey. I don't know. This last one, it was like a good addition, but I just feel like it was too thin again. But it was good. It's a really good wig cap, like melt wise, but it's proper thin. So you need to be very careful when you're manipulating it. So I just ended up putting on the wig, trying to place it where I wanted to place it. And I'm going to show you guys, like, I think I was showing you here how it was a bit big on the sides, and then I just combed it through so I knew where everything was going to be. And combing it also helps to use a fine tooth comb to secure the product you've put in, so it's like blending into the product. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Honestly, this unit felt so lush. Like, the strands of the hair are just exquisite. Like, they're really good. I feel like it might be done. I don't think it's donor hair, like raw hair. I don't know. I really don't know. At this point, I just buy hair if I like it, and I feel like it might be a reputable company. So I ended up just spraying a bit of the holding spray into a cap, and then using a like the comb for edges, using that to brush through the perimeter of the hair. I think it helped me to control how much product I was using on the actual hair, whilst being strategic in applying it and making sure that everything was being spread out carefully into the strands of the hair. And then I went in with a blow dryer and comb to comb everything through. This step like really helps you to hold down the unit, and I started really slowly, and then later on I just went full on and like combed it out, and used the blow dryer. The blow dryer at all times was on high like heat because I didn't have time, like I said earlier. So yeah, you might want to go a bit like one step down, maybe warm if your blow dryer has that, so warm and then alternate. But me, I was just like ready to go. I was like, I need to be done with this. So I was just going in with the hot one, and it actually really helped me save time. I was ready to cut the hair, so I just cut the perimeter of the hair, the extra lace. And at this point, this is like this install is crazy, but like the thing that happened. So like I said, the wig cap is actually big for my head, so there was extra hair, and like there's extra part of the hair that I had to cut out. So when I was cutting it out, like the worst thing happened. After I tried my best, I'd moved in. I even wanted to tuck it into the back so that I wouldn't have to cut it. It didn't work. It was like bumpy and all. So I tried my best. Like I tried to do different things, secure it, make sure that I was cutting the right place, and then like the worst thing ever, like this is the first time I'm ever wearing this hair and this happens. I end up just like, let me show you guys. After really struggling to cut it off, I ended up cutting a bit of the hair because the pair of scissors did carry with it some part of the side hair, which it shouldn't have done. So I cut the hair. Like it was a big chunk, as you can see. It was a chunk. At this point, I was like, oh more. It was so crazy. Like, imagine doing this. This hair costs a pretty penny, and I'm cutting it. Like, I should have just gone to a salon, but then like they charge me like crazy. So anyways, I need to be careful next time, but I'm happy it doesn't really show. I just ended up using holding spray to hide that bit, and then you trust me to go off camera to do the other parts because I'm not about to cut it again. I then went in with the other end of the edge brush just to like melt it in, and then at this point I was using my finger and a bit of product to melt everything in. I feel like controlling the product is really good at this stage, so you need to use very like either your fingers or like a narrow tool Then I tied it down and went in with my blow dryer on high heat to just like make everything dry down because I was not trying to have it lifting. I'm already going to the office with new hair. They'll be like, oh, why is your hair lifting? So I didn't want that. And after that, it was time to flat comb the hair. So I used this hot comb that I've had for a minute and just went in with it. And then after that, I went in with a wax stick and then applied that. And I continued hot combing it and making sure it was very flat because I had never used the hair before. So I just wanted to make sure that it was flat and looked realistic. There's nothing worse than high hair. Like I hate high hair. Like I hate it. I hate there's nothing anybody can tell me about it. I hate it when your hair is lifting and all. So I tried my best to make sure that this one wasn't lifting. So I kept going in with the hot comb just to flatten it and make sure it was as flat as possible and also like looking crisp and trim. After that, I took off the thing I used to tie around this, like the little ribbon thingy, and I used the hot comb again to just continue going in, but then this time I was going closer to the perimeter of the hair on my head so that everything would be in proper flats, like proper flats. And I think that's about it. I lied. After flat combing the hair, I went in with my Dennis Myrick skin tint. This is in shade 14. I went in with that and then I used a small blending brush to spread that around the perimeter of the units and my head so that it's sort of merge, and then I put that in place with my Sephora powder. I think I mean hazelnut, the micro smooth one. So I did that and then I used my straightener to flatten the hair, like the heat from my straightener, the paddles to flatten the hair more. And yeah, I really like how the install came together in the end, despite like all the hiccups. And yeah, it's been a while since I did this, so I'm happy with it. I hope you like it. This is what it looks like.